The House Intelligence Committee voted today to send witness transcripts from its Russia investigation to special counsel Robert Mueller, who could use them to prosecute potential instances of perjury. This comes as noted legal scholar O.J. Simpson is now weighing in on the Mueller probe. The man who led the league in rushing and led the cops on the freeway told reporters that President Trump could get indicted by the special counsel if he, quote, keeps hanging around with guys like Roger Stone. It's a tough day when you lose upstanding members of the community like O.J. Simpson. Our next guest was recently charged by the special counsel for perjury and witness tampering, and he joins us now to separate fact from fiction. Former Trump campaign advisor Roger Stone is here. Welcome to the show, Roger.
Thank you. Pardon me if I don't take public relations or legal advice from O.J.
From a double murderer? No problem. Have you ever met him?
I have not.
Okay, good. So this is a really interesting case because the FBI raided your home with 17 vehicles very early in the morning during a government shutdown. Were you surprised by the manpower?
Yeah, 29 SWAT-clad, assault weapon-bearing FBI agents, far more than were used to take down bin Laden. 17 vehicles, 2 of them armored, 2 amphibious units on the canal behind my house, a helicopter overhead. But the most surprising thing, Kennedy, was the fact that, in view of the fact that I'm so dangerous, why was CNN allowed to film the whole thing from 25 feet away from my front door? Why did a CNN truck show up 40 minutes before the FBI, and why did they set up their camera 10 minutes before the FBI arrived?
That's interesting because the FBI doesn't normally broadcast their plans over police scanners. So it seems as though CNN would have had to have been tipped off by all of this.
It certainly appears that way. By the way, the producer on the ground, Josh Campbell, a former special assistant to FBI Director James Comey. It's very curious. I hope Senator Lindsey Graham can get to the bottom of it.
Well, I don't know what they're going to get to the bottom of in your case because Judge Amy Berman Jackson says that she's about to issue a gag order on the whole thing. She says that you have turned this into a book tour. Do you feel like you're being silenced by the woman?
Well, at this point, we're waiting for the judge's ruling. I have First Amendment rights. I mean, the whole purpose of this raid was to poison a jury pool and depict me like a drug kingpin and declare me guilty before the public before I've had a chance to mount a defense. Now they'd like to suspend my First Amendment right
to defend myself. Do you think it was also to send a message to other people that special counsel has not yet interviewed?
Well, that's certainly a possibility. But look,
who are they sending a message to? Who are they sending a message to?
I could not speculate other than to say
I lived under... There's no gag order.
No, my lawyers would not be very happy if I did that. I have to.
I'm not a lawyer.
I don't
mind. You can tell me whatever you want, Roger. It's just you and me.
Yeah, and a couple million other people, hopefully. The point is, they want to limit my ability to raise the money to mount a legal defense.
Sure.
They have 2 years of insidious leaks, have essentially destroyed me financially. I need people to go to stonedefensefund.com. That's why they want to gag me, so I cannot raise the resources to defend myself.
All right. Well, are you the key to bringing down the president? You have said that you will not implicate him, but you also intimated that you think Robert Mueller is going after the president and the vice president in order to make Nancy Pelosi president, and essentially Hillary.
Well, what I've said is, first of all, that I won't bear false witness against the president, meaning I won't make up stories about him to try to ease the pressure on myself.
What about the true stories? Are there true stories? Are there real instances that could be problematic for the president that only you know?
Absolutely, positively not, and that's exactly what I have said. I do think that this is politically motivated. I do think that Mr. Mueller is seeking for some Russian-connected allegation so that he could remove both the president and the vice president, which would, of course, elevate Nancy Pelosi and would create a vacancy in the vice presidency, which Pelosi could then appoint somebody like, I don't know, maybe Hillary Clinton.
No, it almost seems like, you know, the way you talk very favorably about the president, he is the one person who could pardon you in this federal conundrum you find yourself in. If the president could only pardon one person, if he could only pardon one person and it was you and Paul Manafort, who would he pardon? Who should he pardon?
Well, let me be very clear. I haven't discussed a pardon with the president. My lawyers have not discussed a pardon with his lawyers. I haven't discussed a pardon with anyone. I did advocate a pardon for Marcus Garvey, the early civil rights leader who I think was railroaded in the 20s.
That's right.
Right, and I did it right after the president was elected in a long letter to him. But I haven't asked for a pardon. I'm going to go to trial. I have pled not guilty.
Would you like a pardon?
I'm not going to even speculate on that. I expect to be vindicated in court. Be clear, there's no Russian collusion allegation against me. There's no WikiLeaks collaboration allegation against me. There's no crime in connection with the 2016 election against me. These are nonviolent process crimes,
yes.
But I still had to be taken down like El Chapo.
We've seen a number of these process crimes. I know that you are a big fan of the former president, Richard Milhouse Nixon. You have his likeness tattooed on your body. Does he ever speak to you in dreams?
Well, I like his resilience and the fact that he came back from adversity. I don't like his war on drugs. I don't like the fact that he took us off the gold standard, but I do like the fact that he negotiated a strategic arms limitation with the Soviets, ended the Vietnam War, desegregated the public schools, and saved the state of Israel from annihilation. So, but what I like about Nixon is his persistence, his resilience.
What was the victory symbol when you came out of the courthouse? After your soliloquy?
To show people that I am not crushed. This was an attempt to crush my spirit and to just make me buckle under. And I wanted people to know that that's not what I'm going to do.
Corey Lewandowski on this show called you a bad guy and a serial liar and says that you deserve to be in jail at some level. What would you like to say to Corey Lewandowski?
Well, he's an advanced man. If you need somebody to straighten up the flags behind the podium, he's your man. But other than that, I'm not going to get down in the gutter with Corey Lewandowski. I addressed him in the movie Get Me, Roger Stone on Netflix. Check it out.
All right. And are you going to run for president on the Libertarian ticket?
No, there'll be better candidates than me. I did leave the Republican Party when they nominated Mitt Romney to vote for Governor Gary Johnson, who I very much like and is a good friend. But I rejoined the party of my birth when Donald Trump hijacked the party in a hostile takeover. And now he's talking about ending endless foreign wars.
Will this
farming
investigation end his presidency?
That remains to be seen. The president needs to come to grips with the partisan nature of this effort, to what is essentially an effort to undo the results of the last Democratic election.
I think he understands that it is partisan. Roger Stone, thank you very much for your time. If there's no gag order, come on back so we can chat more.
All right. Many thanks.
Very good.